Coming up next on Access Framingham TV is Framingham Fan to Fan, where we discuss all things sports in Framingham. Today we'll talk Framingham High School girls ice hockey with guest head coach Casey Diana and two of their captains, Caroline Stacy and Kaylee Hall. Stay tuned. It's going to break fast, check hard, and you're going to make it save. This is Framingham Fan to Fan on Access Framingham TV. Hi, I'm Dave Hornficsher, a Framingham sports fan, and I'm pleased to host this interview show whose purpose is to highlight those who are involved in Framingham sports at all levels. We hope through this show to increase awareness, participation, and especially fan support of these fun sporting events, and also to help use sports to achieve our station's goal of building community. Today I'm pleased to welcome Framingham High School women's ice hockey coach Casey Diana and two of her captains, Caroline Stacy and Kaylee Hall. Girls, women,
Hi.
it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm glad you didn't bring sticks, because otherwise I'd be in danger probably. But Casey, why don't you start by telling me a little bit about your background and how one gets to be the head coach of a high school hockey team.
Sure. So I grew up in Framingham, started playing hockey when I was 4 years old at Loring Arena. Went through the high school program, played 4 years of varsity there. Went on to play college hockey at Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire, and then I came back last year and I was an assistant coach on the team, and then the position opened up, so I applied, and I was lucky enough to be named the head coach for this season.
Well, that's great. And players here, Caroline, why don't you tell us how you got into being a hockey player?
Similarly to Casey, I started when I was 4. My parents saw like an ad in the newspaper, and they were like, "Oh, why don't you try it?" So I was like, "Okay, I'll just go for it." So I went for it, and I ended up loving it. Something I really enjoyed. I met Kaylee. I met the other captain, Kylie. Became really close, and it was just a really good experience, and I carried that throughout high school too.
That's great. And Kaylee, what's your story?
Basically the same. I started at the age of 5 because my cousin started and my brother started, and it basically became like a family thing. I've been playing since, and I've just learned to love the sport and just enjoyed being here and all that good stuff.
You all remember some of those moments when you first stepped on the ice, probably pushing a chair or doing something? And
For sure.
I do.
and did you ever think you were going to, did you have that in, well, you probably didn't think you were going to be this good by the time when you're at that point, did you? And you're still getting better, right?
Yeah.
So, Casey, why don't you talk a little bit about the history of the high school hockey, the women's hockey team, girls hockey team, call it whatever we want, I guess. But if there's one thing that's really been a change in my life, certainly Title IX really exploded women's sports, and ice hockey in particular is something that I think is fairly new, right?
Yeah, so Framingham High fielded a hockey team for the girls' side for the first time in 1996. In the 94-95 season, there was a group of girls who played club hockey outside of the high school who said, "We'd really like to play for Framingham." So they actually put a sign-up sheet on the wall at the school, and they got 58 girls to sign up to say, "Next year we want to play hockey." So that was kind of the start of it.
So this is almost 25 years ago now.
Yeah, we're getting up there in age. We're one of the
really had
older
no
girls
idea.
programs in the state. Yeah. So it just started that first season, and then Dennis Moran was one of the longtime coaches. He was a huge asset to the program. He's someone that I still talk to this day. I never played for him, but he's kind of a girls hockey legend in Framingham, and he's a great asset to the program. And without him, we're not here today.
And so this is probably developed in all the towns around here as well. I mean, Eastern Mass is a real hockey hotbed anyway. So
Yeah, we see. So we play in the Bay State League, which is probably one of the premier leagues in the state for girls high school hockey. You've got towns like Braintree, Wellesley, Needham, Newton, Weymouth, who we just played last night, and they all have girls programs. So it's really taken off in this area.
So let's talk a little bit about this 2019 season. This is your first year as coaching?
Correct.
And so what kind of challenges have you had in starting here? And
Oh my gosh, the challenges have been immeasurable, but we knew coming into the season that it was going to be that way. Bringing in a whole new staff to a team that's already been established with a group of kids that have been here, some of them for 3 or 4 years, it can be tough. It can be hard for them to acclimate and adjust to the new systems, the new expectations. But these kids have done a great job, and these two next to me and their co-captain, Kylie, have done an awesome job of making sure that line of communication from the coaches to the players is clear and making sure that we adjust as we needed and we adapt to things.
So has the team been successful throughout the years, or is this something where you're kind of really trying to rebuild something?
Yeah, so we're definitely in a rebuild mode. Early in the 2000s, into my early years of playing at the high school, we were very strong. They won the Bay State League in 2007, so they were top team in the league.
And you were on that team?
I was not. I wasn't on the team till 2009.
Oh, okay.
But the last time we won a playoff game for the program was my freshman season, which was 2010, and then 2014 was the last time the team itself made the states. So it's been a couple of years since we've made the playoffs, and we're definitely looking to get back into a stage where we're continuously there and at the end competing.
Well, I mean, taking over a new team, and this is your first experience coaching a team? Is it?
No, so my full-time job is actually running a youth hockey program. So I have experience for the last 2 years coaching a U19 Tier 2 team. So that's a bunch of kids that play at prep schools. So it's that fall season before they go off to play high school hockey.
Yeah, the whole club hockey scene is quite different. I know I had some players on from Framingham State, and they talked a little bit about going between high school and playing in these leagues. Do you or have any of your players played outside of the high school scene, or played on a club team? Or
I think you both did, right?
really?
You guys
Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing club when I was in 6th grade, when I started middle school. Yeah, I joined a club team, and I really just wanted to work on myself and getting better. And then I believe it was your eighth grade?
Me and our co-captain Kylie moved to the same club team as Caroline, because it reached the point where it was the boys, playing with the boys was getting dangerous because they were getting older and stronger and could hit us even harder.
Oh, that's right. The youth hockey program in Framingham was an all-boys thing for quite a
Yeah.
while, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the youth program for girls has just recently been getting stronger and stronger. But when we were growing up, it was very much co-ed. And
Wow, I didn't realize that.
yeah, and there was one girls team that was coached by her dad.
Oh, wow, what a
Yeah.
tradition.
Yeah.
That she assisted coach for, and I was on it. My sister was on it. You were on it. Just a bunch of us girls were on it from like a bunch of ages. I think we were like 10 when we were on it, so we
Yeah.
weren't really supposed to be on the team. But they needed girls, and we were more than willing to do it because we'd just been with the boys all of our lives. So just to have something new and
So-
have a different experience was awesome.
So was this a Framingham club team that you were on?
Yeah,
It was-
so
yeah.
it was through Framingham Youth Hockey. It was technically a U14 team, so the average age for that is 13s and 14-year-olds. But we did have quite a few 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds playing with us. So a lot of our juniors and seniors that are on the team this year were on that team that my father was the head coach for and I helped with.
Well, even now the girls' youth program has the Lady Flyers of different ages, and so this was sort of like what you were on, right? You were sort of the pioneers for that, I guess, in
Right.
some ways, right?
Right, they were.
But the sport is still 25 years, so that's interesting. Anyway, to bring some special life to this, I did take my little iPhone camera down to, I was actually your first game of the year against Medfield, and I took a few videos here, and I think we can play a couple of them. They just show a variety of things that are happening in a game that both of you were involved in. And I think before we started, I just have to mention that Caroline is the goalie in this game. And you're not. You told me before the show that you were a goalie in field hockey, but you hadn't been a hockey goalie. And the coach had called you up said help, and you're a defenseman. And so, walk us through what kind of happened before the game and before we show the video.
Before, I don't think I was really worried or stressed or anything for the game because I've had practice a little bit before. I had like a couple days of practice, but it definitely helped from field hockey to transfer and know some of the same motions. I mean, it's very different, but coming off of a really successful field hockey season and being able to step up for my team there, I was like more than happy to step up for my team here as well. And just anything I can do for my team, I'm gonna do. So.
Well, that's great, and we'll actually see you make a couple saves here. I think we start with a face-off here, and this is probably the right way to do it. So if we can run that video over here, we'll just kind of, yeah, okay, so there we go. And so just kind of give us a little commentary why this is going on.
Well, it goes down, girl. There's no one like that.
And here comes,
thank you.
I got
Yeah.
a breakaway.
and here comes Kaylee, and oh, look at that save by the goalie. So what were you thinking when you had that? Were you thinking top side, lower corner?
I
or
was
just,
thinking top right, but then I kind of lost the puck, and it didn't really work out. Then Caroline
but you still
makes a great
remember
save.
it, even seeing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's amazing. How sports does that to you. Okay, now here the puck's behind the net. The goalie's got her eyes on it, right? You're afraid they're going to come around?
Yeah, just watching.
And we're going to get another breakaway. Here comes Kaylee again. And that gets broken up too. You just look like you had such presence on the ice that day, Kaylee. It seemed like every time I look up, I saw you with the puck, and it was that was great. And then we have another one that's going to come up. I think we have a wrap around the goal shot by number 13, who is, what's her name?
That's Georgia Parker. She's a junior assistant captain.
Okay. Whoops, somebody got knocked down in front. There's no checking in girls hockey, right?
Correct.
No.
Yeah, here she comes. And that's a nice centering pass, but it didn't quite connect. I remember when my son was playing youth hockey, the coach had a thing that was ABC, always be centering, right? Does that ring true?
Yeah, you always want to get the puck to the center.
Yeah, and hope somebody just happens to be there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, now the next one that's coming up, I think, has a little more of a focus on defense. Let's see what they're doing here. Okay, so you want to rattle off the players' names. That's you, 39.
Yeah.
So that's
Is that a
freshman
special-
Ava Sullivan picking up the puck in the corner right
A
there.
freshman, you said. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a freshman that's played pretty big minutes for us this year. We actually just moved her up to forward. She
Oh,
scored
there's a good save. Look
That
at
was
that.
a good save.
Yeah,
But yeah, Ava just scored her first goal of the season yesterday.
right.
Yeah, she's a very strong
And
player.
the last video here has some of that stuff you're not supposed to be doing in it, which I think is checking. This is a lot more physical than what one would believe. I mean, or expect, I think. She still came up with the puck. Well, what was Medfield especially good at? Was there one thing you remember that they?
They skated the puck well. They communicated, so their passes tended to connect, which is something that we've been working on all season.
Looks
Is
like another
communicating
save
better.
down there too. Did they count the number of saves you made in that game?
She made 36
36.
saves.
Really, it seemed. Wow. Okay. Well, I think we saw half a dozen of them anyway. Here. So, are you continuing to do goalie, or do you have another?
Well, I think I played 2 or 3 games
okay.
in goalie. I was moved then back to defense, which I've been playing since I was 4, so that
Right.
was good, more comfortable for me. And then I played that for a couple games, moved up to wing, and now I'm back on defense.
I would think playing goalie would improve your defense play, because you would really have a better sense of what a goalie's going through back there.
Yeah, for sure.
And the things that you should and shouldn't do, like screener or
For
whatever,
sure.
right? So one thing I like to do with my guests is to take them through a moment, a highlight moment, or something that you kind of remember, whether it was when you were 4, just getting away from the chairs, or whether it was making a save or making one of those rushes. And just kind of run me through. Why don't you start, Kaylee, with
I would say Mine is from our first game of the season. It was the game from the clip. It was actually the first goal scored in the season. It was on a breakaway. I blocked a shot with my knees, and I took it, and it was a breakaway. And I shot the puck, and I thought she saved it, but it ended up bouncing off her shoulder and bouncing into the net. And I had no clue I had scored until I had gotten tripped. So I slid into the boards. I looked that it was in the net, and I got up and I.
What a great feeling. Oh my, where's the puck? It's in the net. It's like playing golf and everybody's looking for the ball. And it's in the hole. That's great. Caroline, walk me through one of your moments, either as a...
I would say this season it would probably be the first game. Going in, beginning of the season I thought I was going to be a defenseman, and then going to my first game as a goalie and making my first glove save was pretty awesome. Just knowing that I'm doing this for my team and just that I was able to do that for
Still
everyone.
probably feel the puck in your glove, right?
Yeah.
It's like the taste of chocolate. You remember it, right?
For sure. So.
And Casey, you played a lot. Do you have a memory of you that was kind of special in your hockey experiences?
Yeah, I definitely have a few as a player, but I think as a coach, my favorite memory so far is last night. We finally got our first win of the season, so that was my first win as the varsity coach. And my dad was actually in town. My parents live out in Oregon, so it was nice to have my dad in the rink with me for my first varsity win.
Okay. Why don't you all talk us through that game? What happened? Were either of the two of you involved in some aspect of
We were
that?
definitely involved.
Yeah. Well, I was back on defense for this game, and I've been playing that for my whole life, so it was definitely awesome being back there. It was a very physical game, you could say. Very physical. I think there was about 14 penalties on the other team's hands, and a handful from us, I would say. But it was very physical. And it was a battle, a really big battle, but we came out on top.
How were you involved in this?
I think we were just all involved because we got the lead 1-0 and we kept the lead the whole game, but we got 2 goals in the third. But it was just very intense and everyone was excited. And the third period is when a lot of the penalties came, so it's very scary. And I remember the last minute and a half, me and Caroline were both in the penalty box. So it's a 5-on-3, 3-0, and we wanted to get a shutout because our goalie who was playing in the game yesterday was, again, hadn't played much games for our team. But I just remember me and Caroline standing in the box, just not looking.
So this was 5-on-3.
It was a 5-on-3, and we were so scared.
And it was your fault.
We were very scared.
Yeah.
We were not looking at the clock.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So do you play Weymouth again?
We do not. We only see them once a year.
Was this a home game or down?
It was a home game.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Okay. So let's talk about your games. You're beginning to convince me that I need to go watch another one. So how does one get to see one of your games here?
Yeah, you can come on down to Loring Arena.
I think we have a photo of Loring Arena in case anybody needs some help finding it. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
they just renovated it, so the inside's all brand new snack bar. That's the new part right there.
Right.
Upstairs, nice warm room with the glass windows so you can watch and not be out in the rink where it's cold.
I only stop you there. That's an important thing for people out in TV land to know, because my experience growing up, my son played ice hockey, and we froze in every rink all around the state of Connecticut. And now, as a fan, you can go and sit in a warm place and watch this. So this is kind of
it's
fun,
nice.
right?
Yep.
I'm sorry. So go ahead.
No, yeah. So you can go online to flyerathletics.com and you can find our schedule there. We usually play Wednesday, Saturday. This coming Saturday we are away, and then Monday we actually have a game and we're away in Auburn. And then I believe we return home either next Wednesday or next Saturday.
So that's FLYERATHLETICS, all one word.
.com. Correct.
.com.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and so you've and you got a schedule. It's how many games do you play?
We play 20 games. 20 games this season.
So that's a pretty full schedule. Has that been growing over the years? Or?
Nope, that's the maximum allowed by the MIAA. So that's how many we play.
So you mentioned the Bay State League. This got reshuffled last year, right?
It did. I'm not totally sure what our like division is anymore, to be honest.
Somebody told me that you had the Route 9 League, I think they
That's
called it,
that's
or
what they're
something.
calling it.
Natick and Wellesley.
Natick,
and
Wellesley, Newton,
Brookline, maybe.
Brookline, I think. Yeah.
And
They.
you mentioned playing Auburn, so you must play a few non-conference
Yep.
games, right?
So that first game of the season against Medfield was a non-league game for us. We ended up doing a home and home with them, so we played them at Loring, and then we went down to Walpole and played them at their home rink. Auburn's another one. We just recently played Algonquin, who's a non-league. We've also got a tournament coming up in February that we're hosting at Loring, so that'll be 3 non-league teams for us. That'll be Matignon girls hockey, Boston Latin Fontbonne, which is a co-op, and then the Beverly Danvers girls team. So those are 3 teams that we don't usually see that we're going to get a chance to play against
Oh,
this year.
that's great. Yeah, so that sounds like it gives you a lot of variety, and
Yeah.
a tournament is even kind of if you're not going to win your league, you have a chance to play 2 or 3 games, and
Yeah, yep. It's styled after the Bean Pot, which a lot of college hockey fans are familiar with. So the
That's for
first
sure.
day is the semifinals. There'll be 2 games then. The next day will be the consolation and the finals.
so I assume that you're all hockey fans.
Yes.
You
Yes.
probably like the Bruins.
Yes.
Oh, but you told me you don't. Well, let's get into that a little bit. How does a young woman grow up in Massachusetts and not be a Bruins fan?
Well, my dad was born in Pittsburgh.
Okay, all right. You can
so
take the boy out of Pittsburgh, but you can't take the Pittsburgh out of the. Probably likes the Steelers too.
a little bit, but we do like the Patriots
Oh, good.
too.
That's nice.
Don't worry.
So have you been to many Bruins games or?
Yeah, I do go to some Bruins games. We like to try to make the Bruins Penguins games if we can, because those are always fun. But yeah, we just try to get as many games as we can.
And you, Kaylee, you're a
I'm a huge Bruins fan.
huge Bruins fan. Any
Huge.
particular players that you like?
Um,
Let's give the Bruins a little promotion here. They don't get on
think my-
television very often.
favorite is definitely Pasternak.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty good little player.
Yeah.
I like Bergeron. I like that he plays 2 ways. He's forward and
right.
he plays defensively, and he just back checks all over the ice.
Yeah, and so do you watch any of the college games or?
I watch a lot of college hockey, yes.
Yeah. Any particular team? You're still staying with your alma mater? Or?
Yep, yeah, I try and catch as many of my Framingham Pierce games as possible. I still have a lot of friends on the team from when I was playing there 2 years ago. So I try and catch their games on the live streams, or I try to catch the stats if they don't have a video of it. But I grew up a Boston College fan, so I'm a little partial to them still.
I know BU and BC have been great. I mean, they've been national powers for.
Yeah.
Have either of you been to their games or?
When I was younger, I'd go see the BC girls team.
Right. So that was probably an inspiration for you at the
Yeah.
time, or say, I want to be like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. And what about the Olympics? Women's hockey's been a powerhouse in the
Yeah,
Olympics.
that was the gold medal game was awesome.
Yeah,
With the shootout at the end with the Lamoureux twins.
chance to beat Canada.
Yeah,
right?
and anytime you can, it's the best.
So you don't in your youth hockey games did you ever go up to Canada to play a team up there or no?
No, that's usually like the club teams will usually
Right,
do
that's
that.
what I was wondering if that happened.
Or like the higher level
Like
teams.
more elite people.
Yeah. We were never on like the highest teams of our
Okay,
club, so we never like went to Canada per se. But we were always traveling up and down like New Hampshire, down to Connecticut, all around New England basically,
Yes.
but not really out of the country.
Did you ever go watch Framingham State play?
Yeah,
Wow.
Framingham State was playing before our game this past Saturday, so we got to catch the ending of their game versus.
Do they have a women's team too?
No, they do not.
No.
Okay, right. Maybe
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah,
Framingham State. And so what about I just learned about the Boston Pride,
Yeah.
which is a professional women's league. I didn't. Yeah. Is that fairly new?
Yeah, so the NWHL is in its 3rd or 4th season now. And then there's also the CWHL. They have a team out in Worcester called the Worcester Blades. So they've been around for probably 10 plus years now.
So have you been to their games?
I have, yes.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
a couple friends that play on either team.
Okay, yeah. So you've got this deep in your blood.
Yeah,
can
yeah.
just
I grew
see.
up in a hockey family.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, you said your dad coached
Yep.
and all that. Were your brothers or parents or anything involved in hockey?
my dad used to just play a little bit when he was younger, and then my brother grew up playing, and a few of my cousins. So it's
Okay. All
pretty
right.
much
So
my
yeah, so
family.
it's in the
yeah.
Yeah.
in Caroline.
For me, I'm the youngest of two. I have two older sisters, but I was the first one in my family to start hockey. Then after I started, my older sister Emily started, and then my oldest sister Alyssa started in high school. So I kind of started the trend, you could say.
Yeah.
And now my cousin Lucy, who's in 6th grade, just started hockey. So she's helping us continue that legacy, which is awesome.
So to all the young women out there or parents of young daughters, this is you two are a couple of good examples of. So you're both seniors, I think you told me. You have college plans or?
Well, I've applied and I got accepted to a couple schools, but I don't have any like solid plans yet.
Would you play hockey if you?
I would probably do like club or like intramural, but for college sake, I'm gonna try to make a presence for field hockey goalie in college.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you mentioned that you do that.
Yeah.
And Kaylee, what about you?
Just like Caroline, I applied and got in. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I'm definitely going to continue my hockey career, or if not hockey, any other sport.
Yeah, you both said you play field hockey, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think in college it's a big commitment, and you have to make a decision whether you want to,
Yeah.
whether you're there to learn something or to be a professional, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance that you have to decide upon.
It's like a full-time job.
Yeah, the hockey is it's a. So have either of you been injured in hockey? Is this a? No.
I haven't. I've been blessed to not really be injured very much.
And you have pretty good equipment, right? You have shoulder pads and knee pads and
Yeah, we're
helmets.
So much
we're pretty
equipment.
well equipped.
You don't step on a scale when you got all that on.
Yeah, and like just from playing since we were really young, has kind of built us to be strong and to not really let people push us around, which is good. But yeah, injury-wise, I don't really think either of us have.
No.
Well, one thing
luckily.
that I always ask coaches is, we always hear about Bill Belichick and his "do your job." Do you have a motivating message for these guys that you?
I think the story of our season has just been to work harder. Even when you think you're working your hardest, there's always another level. And we're starting to find that next level, as we saw last night with the win. That was our most complete game yet, and we were very happy.
And you got the
with them.
shutout.
We did get a shutout, which was awesome. It was just, they were clicking on all cylinders. They showed up ready to go at the rink, and it was great to see.
So are you getting this message from your new coach here this year that was positive?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I think another couple sayings that I recognize a lot are hold yourselves accountable, hold your teammates accountable, and that's really important because if you're holding each and every one of yourselves accountable, then you're going to hold everyone to a higher standard and get the job done. And also just play by play, shift by shift, period by period is another one.
That is a good one.
Just every minute counts, every second counts, and it's not about the effort that you just do one time or one shift. It's about the whole game, and you need to be consistent, and you need to keep the effort there.
And you're nodding in agreement with that
Yeah.
too. Well, unfortunately, our time or our interview here has expired, but you're all great examples of an exciting new development for hockey fans to go and watch women's hockey. I know I'm going to get down and catch you guys again. I think it's terrific what you're doing, and people out in Access Framingham TV land, get down to Loring Arena, and especially on Wednesdays and Saturdays at around 4 o'clock. Did you
Yep,
say your games
around 4
start?
o'clock.
And if you're not there, come back and watch us on Access Framingham TV. Framingham Fan to Fan is on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at 8:30, and for the early risers, Saturday mornings at 7:30. So. Thanks a lot for watching today, and come back and see us. And I thank my guests
Thank you.
for a great show, and good luck.
Thank you.